We have to make friends with our anger. So many people are uncomfortable with anger because the only anger they've ever experienced was violence directed at them, humiliation, put downs, control, and that's the only anger they've ever seen. But that's a very toxic or negative form of anger. There's also healthy anger, which is like, no, stop. Most people experience anger at the hands of their parents or teachers or some childhood bully, and they had to endure it, and so anger makes them very uncomfortable. Maybe they grew up in homes where anger was not allowed to be shown because their parents grew up with anger and they decided to just suppress all anger. We do not show anger. So they think anger is like something that you shouldn't feel and it's all repressed. So, one way of getting comfortable with it is to just go back into your childhood and think about when someone was mean to you or yelled at you, and just put yourself back in that situation as a little kid and put out your hand and say, stop, no, something like that, because that's anger. It's like, stop, no, you can't do that. That's healthy anger. And everyone has to find their healthy anger. Anger comes up when your rights are being violated, your boundaries are being violated, your preferences are violated by someone with a lack of boundaries. And yelling at you, putting you down, criticizing you, humiliating you is someone who is, it's a lack of boundaries. I made a video a few minutes ago about how I'm very angry with guys who want free attention, free advice, and that's healthy anger. But some guys got very offended by it, and when they're offended by it, they want to like get back at me and get revenge because that's all they know how to do. When someone expresses a boundary, instead of saying, huh, that's her boundary, I'm glad to know, or she's kind of like way out there, I don't want to deal with her, they want to like put me down by telling me that I don't know, whatever names they wanted to call me. I hid them from the channel, so. But they want to call me names, they want to put me down. And that to me just shows that they have an inability to deal with their own anger. They haven't made friends with their anger yet. Because I want to know where someone's boundary is. I want to know where your boundary is. And I want to be with people who can get angry. Because if you never get angry, that means you're phony. Everyone gets angry. So if the only anger you have is the explosive, violent kind, where you humiliate, yell at, control, manipulate, hit, and even people who stab other people, put people down, call them names, you don't know how to handle your anger. And if you never get angry, you don't know how to handle your anger because it's so suppressed. A lot of people think they're being good because I don't get angry and I forgive. That's what you're taught, and that's really unhealthy. Healthy anger is like, no. That's it. It's just you taking care of yourself. And I'm comfortable with people being angry with me. I'm very comfortable. It doesn't scare me. If someone was violent, that would scare me, but anger doesn't scare me. I feel safe with men who can be angry because then I know they're going to protect me, they're going to take care of me, and that they can handle themselves and handle me and handle life. And I will never again date a man who's uncomfortable with his own anger or uncomfortable with mine. That anger, what they call the Shiva energy, that's part of it. That's part of the animal spirits. It's part of the vitality. It's part of the power. It's part of the boundaries. And I will never date a man who's afraid of that, who's afraid of me or afraid of my anger. Now, if my anger were unjustified and I used it to call him a name, he's got to come up to me and be like, Shahrzad, I don't talk to you that way. You can't talk to me that way. Okay, so people who got mad at me, they don't know how to handle a woman who is inappropriate with them. A woman should never put you down, humiliate you in public, humiliate you in private, pull out things from the past, hold things over your head, manipulate you, try to control you, use you, lie to you, cheat on you, hit you, steal from you, all that stuff. You shouldn't allow. You guys who left those nasty comments for me, you got to get in touch with your anger and be like, no, because that anger You know, we have to start getting mad at our government. Like, no, we don't like that you just give us two choices who are both warmongers. No. We don't like that you gaslight us. No. And from that anger, we can say no, or we can do something against it, like start our own publications or decide how we do want to be treated. We have to get in touch with our anger. That anger is as a protection. It's a protection, and it teaches people what we like and don't like. And if you never tell me no, how do I know your yeses are real? You're just a yes guy. You're a people pleaser. You're uncomfortable with anger. You never say no. People will take advantage of you. You will get resentful. And if you're a people pleaser, it's the same thing. You're trying to please everyone, so you never say no, and you think that they will love you if you just say yes all the time. So that's the problem with these guys. And women too. That's how people get taken advantage of, because they don't honor their inner voice that's telling them, I don't like this. And it's okay to tell people what you don't like. It's okay to tell people what you don't like. In that video I made a nasty face. I'm like, it's so gross when guys want something from you without having given anything, and it's true. I learned a long time ago, when you contact someone, you want to offer something, an introduction, an inspiration, and inspire them to want to connect with you. What are you offering? Some kind of a partnership, a business inquiry, a collaboration, interesting information. You gotta always approach someone new with something to offer, and inspire them to want to connect. Give something. And again, if you're in sales, you periodically want to contact your prospect. Oh, hey, like let's say that you sell cars. So periodically you want to email them or call them. Hey, I found this car here. Hey, I found some interesting information about this carburetor or this kind of tire or this kind of upgrade. Oh, there's a sale going on here. There's this new type of thing coming out. You want to be a source of information and give, and that was what makes people want to work with you. But when you just come up to people and just want stuff, that's pretty lame. And people will be angry with you for good reason, because you got nothing to offer and you're taking. So, consider this a lesson to these guys that are uncomfortable with their anger and that just take and that got triggered by my video. So I thank you for getting triggered and leaving nasty comments, because it made me realize that I had to make this video explaining anger. And, so feel free to leave your comments on how you deal with anger, what you do when you get triggered. Because when people get triggered, I heard, this is interesting too, I was watching a video the other day of, it was this woman who was almost killed by her boyfriend. He's on trial right now, the guy with the tattoos, like railroad tracks all around his mouth. And she said when she was trying to get away from him, she was reasoning with him, and she looked in his eyes and she saw he wasn't there. I've heard women talk about that before when they were abused, like it seems like the person wasn't there, and they're not. When people are taken over by anger, they lose all sense of self, all sense of where they are, and they just become anger. And the more anger someone has stored inside their body, the more they're gone. Like when I get angry, I still see where I am, and my anger only lasts for a few seconds, maybe 15. But some of these guys, their anger is so big, they'll actually kill someone, and they completely lose their sense of awareness, and they can't calm themselves down, like they're gone. But anger has this quality, as even Eckhart Tolle describes, it'll just come up and take you over. So part of growing more in mindfulness and spiritual being is to become aware that I'm taken over by anger, and I'm going to take a moment. So that's how you got to learn to deal with the anger. It's like, oops, I'm angry. Let me just take a moment. Why does this upset me? And I thought about this with the guys hitting me up for many times. That's righteous anger, because that's very poor behavior, is to just be taking from me without offering anything. Like, I'm not okay with that. But this is an opportunity to do like parts work, inner child healing, if you find yourself constantly getting irritated. But what do you do when you get triggered by people that you see on YouTube or on somewhere that aren't even doing anything to you? I'm not even doing anything to these guys. So when they get angry at me, when you get angry at someone that isn't really affecting you, that's how you know it's something from the past. So I'm just triggering something that's already in you that comes from your past. So, I mean, if I were stealing from you or hitting you, you don't have a right to be angry with me. But I'm just making a rant about guys who take without giving, and then these guys get all triggered. So, what's that really about? So, it's really an opportunity for some inner work. And, that's how we can use getting triggered as an opportunity for growth. And getting angry is like starting to have that awareness of I'm angry instead of getting completely drugged by it. Frankly, people become unconscious when they get angry. So a good first practice is to become conscious, and that's really hard because when you're angry, you just want to fight the thing off. And it's one thing to fight off things when we're actually in danger, but when that fight response kicks in and we're not in danger, it's something from the past usually. But anyway, I would love to hear what you have to say about anger. And I love these pants. They're so cute. I got these at 7 for Mankind. These cute little pants and the shirt. I got them at 7 for Mankind. I just think they're so cute. Thanks for watching my video.